Okay, this is a practice walkthrough for 4.2 practice. We're going to start with question number 2. It's find the value of x, which means you're going to have to find one of the angles of this triangle. Let's remember that the sum of the triangle is 180 degrees. So you're going to take all 3 of your angles and you're going to add them up to 180. When you solve through the process, you're going to find that your one angle is 93 degrees. All right, next we're going to take it up just a little notch, and I actually have a formula for you. When you're looking at these two angles, as you notice, you're going to see that these two are going to be opposite of this one right here, this angle x. All right, you're going to look for the non-adjacent angles. All right, when we look at that, you're going to look for the two angles that are inside, and those will actually equal your x that's on the outside. So when you take care of that and do the rest of your equation, you're going to find that x equals 134 degrees. Let's see what it would look like on the opposite realm where we have an unknown variable on the inside. When we take those, we're going to do the same process. X plus 82 equals 140. And when you solve that out, you're going to get x equals 54. When you're reading your questions that you're looking for what they're actually trying to have you solve. In this one, as you notice, you're going to see that you're looking for the degree measurements. So you're not just trying to solve for x, you're actually trying to find what the actual degrees are. So when we do this, you're going to go through and remember that all 3 of those angles add up to 180. When you combine your like terms and then you solve for 180, you're going to find out that x equals 10. You're just going to go and plug that back in. We already know because this little sign right there tells us 90 degrees. You already know that k is going to be 90. Then you go through, you add 10 to that x, you get m is 46, and the measure of L is 44. These next ones really are making you think. There's a number of different ways to do it, and this is how I do it. I look for the triangle. So before I even start, I'm looking for what is the triangle that's related to my x. And if my x is right here, I know that it's probably going to be connected in some way, shape, or form to this right here. So if that's x, this is x. Which means I'm going to need to try to find what this is, and we'll call that y. That's actually my first step that I do. I go through and I try to solve for that y. I realize that's 74. When I look at all 3 of these angles combined, this one here, this one here, this one here, I know that's going to be a total of 180. So I'm going to equal that out to 180. And when I do that, I'm going to find out that x equals 31. And since this is 31, we know that these two are vertical, so this also is 31. And that's how I found my x. Again, there's other ways to do it, but that's how I do it. This next one you see, the x is not on the outside. The x is added and embedded into the actual triangle itself. And if I look, I have a larger triangle, this entire triangle right here. So I know this right here plus this are going to equal 180. I can probably, as you all know, add those up and find what x is. Before I do that, we need to find out what this y is, and we also know that this is 35. When I solve for my y, I am going to get 68. And when I add those all up, I'm going to find out that my x is 43. Now let's look just a little bit closer to that. Of course, we look and we see that this right here is 68. We see that this right here is 35. And when we add these two right here in our equation, that is this number right here. So make sure you add that 34 to your equation, because if not, your number is going to be skewed. Our last question we're going to look at is this one right here. We need to find what is our x right there. Now, if you look, number one, the information says that L is parallel to M. So M and L are parallel. I see a transversal that runs through there, which means that this angle here, this entire angle, and this angle here are going to equal each other because they are alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles are congruent.